Good time zone, everybody. Welcome to Horde of Tales. It is Tuesday, and it is time for D&D. My name is Marcus, the individual, and I will wake you up before I go. And these people who are here are certainly all wide awake. And I certainly hope so, because we're going to have a little bit of adventure as we're going to play a little bit of D&D. And I would quickly like to introduce this beloved cast here that we have for our weekly game. We are once again joined by Sariel. We are once again joined by Ida. We are also once again joined by Caro. And we will see Austin as soon as possible. But I'm already going to say we're also joined by Austin. And just imagine that there's an image of him now just waving or something. We're all here. How is everyone doing today?
Doing good.
Doing well, you know?
Marcus,
Personally excited about things. Sorry.
beside the fact that you make a lot of these very stupid random jokes, you always manage to just dodge the moment where I hate you.
It's his face.
Yeah.
Listen,
Like
there's an
that.
art to pun making, and I think Marcus has perfected it.
No, he hasn't.
Irritable enough, like annoying enough, but also just lovable enough that you can just. You know.
If he would sit here
The-
next to me, my hand will just go out and punch him into his shoulder like this.
Mission accomplished.
I mean, I have the luxury of having Marcus like an IRL, like hangs out with me in my group of circles, and it just so happens that we're all paired up, we're all in couples, we're all married couples, etc. Half of all the couples, one of the spouse or partners is like this really serious pun master. So we have exactly one half of the circle like all looking at each other like and the other half like without cause.
People who like puns just have ways of finding each other and finding people in their lives who they can annoy with their puns.
Which is true.
Life finds a way.
But I have to say, as much as I am not a fan of puns, I appreciate them because everyone in my circle does not have English as a native language, and to hear them punning in their second or third language, I'm like, my eyeballs hurt from rolling back so far in the back of my head. But I applaud your comfort in a language that has taken you years to master, and look at you, that's pretty impressive.
I do.
Now stop.
If you're looking for someone to blame for that, it is actually, I think one of my English teachers in high school is actually actively contributed to this punning in English because he would actually use them in his class materials to like teach like these intricacies of language, which was pretty interesting and also pretty fun. So blame my high school English teacher.
Also, Ida, you're such a good person for making this all look like more positive.
I am very good at finding the silver lining. My cup is always half full. Otherwise, I'm the first person to drag you into hell.
No doubts in this.
Oh no! Oh no!
No middle ground.
Exactly.
I
And
knew.
Hey,
Also,
the cat
who is-
has arrived.
also not on any middle ground, but just here to also join us is Austin. Howdy ho, Austin.
Wow.
Hello.
Austin, how's the split in your social circles of people who like puns and people who hate puns? Is it a 50-50 split? Is it a 75-25? Is it a
With me, it's usually about 100%. They have to like puns, otherwise they're not my friend. Because they just leave.
That's very fair.
All right. Very well. And as Austin comes and tells us this, it seems that Caro decides to just pop out for a bit. But
It was the puns.
Exactly,
I guess
it was the puns.
Kara didn't like puns, so
We'll
there's one rule.
we'll get her back soon enough. I certainly hope so.
No need to
With
panic.
that being out of the way, and having shared our opinions about puns and how much we love them, how about we slowly transition into today's game? And before we get into that, just as a little reminder, you are still here at the channel of Horde of Tales, where we run on Tuesdays. We run D&D, but we don't only just run D&D here. We also have other stuffs that we offer here, TTRPG focused. On Tuesdays, we do run Dungeons & Dragons, and specifically, we play in the Eberron setting and follow the adventures of the Convergence Manifesto adventure series. We are currently at the railroaded start of the fifth chapter called Perfect Timing. And if you enjoy what you see here, if you would also love to run a party through a fight on an actual lightning rail, you can find the adventures at acrosseberron.com and join in for the fun. We do play on Foundry VTT Virtual Tabletop, and in case you see any kind of battle maps, they are most likely made in Dungeon Draft. The music you hear is by Dark Fantasy Studios. Our overlay is made by Caro, and the character artwork that you see in the overlay and on the player character tokens in the VTT is a co-op between Caro and Sariel. Last, but certainly not least, on this channel, we love cats. We really, really, really do love cats. And to show that, if you see a cat pop up on one of her screens, you can use your channel points to give Catvantage to one of the players. If you do, a cute kitty cat will show up on their screen, and they can cash in that Catvantage for advantage on one roll. Keep in mind, every player can only hold one dose of Catvantage, so if you already see this cute little kitty cat on their screen, don't give it to that player, give it to another player, so we can share the Catvantage around. Now, I will politely pull down all those cats again, so you have a chance to gather it during the session. And talking about session, let's roll a little intro and get back into it. Be right back. And we are back, and we have to say goodbye to the lovely band in the inn and get back to some tunes that support the action here, because when last we left our heroes, we did leave in the middle of a fight on a lightning rail. Our adventurers were hired, well, not actually hired by the Clifftop Adventurers Guild, but directly by Nigel Farias to go on another task to find another planar item, the Quintessence Engine. In order to get there, they have to access the actual plane of Daanvi through a manifest zone of that plane. And they can only do so while at a certain velocity, jumping out of a train while falling into that manifest zone. A daring plan, but who better to hire for that than these individuals? On the way there, they enjoyed the luxuries of various lightning rails that run the breadth of the continent, and met up with their contact, a certain dwarf known as Amaldi Kalkoran. But as they took off in their last lightning rail that would get them to their destination, Amaldi Kalkoran and the party wanted to get some drinks, got pickpocketed, and fight broke loose. So far, our adventurers seem to have a very good position, fighting their way through the wagons of the lightning rail and actually also zapping the opposition with the power of lightning multiple times. But when we ended last time, one of these individuals had just smashed in a window of the wagon they're currently in and seems to be making or attempting to make a run for it, or Is that even possible on a moving lightning rail? Who knows? We're about to find out, and that's where we're going to pick up. We are still in initiative, and if my notes are correct, top of the round on initiative is actual Daithun. Daithun, to quickly recap, you are together with Rebus and Rayn in this wagon that seems to be kind of like the kitchen, like the cooking wagon, and together with your companions, you just took out a few of these rapscallions, and now you have one of them nicely cornered. The train is still moving. To your south, there is still one individual that has apparently has smashed in the window next to him, and also still has the bag with the authorization crystals that you need to get into the plane you're going to. What would you like to do? It's your turn, and Rayn is on deck.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Hi, hello. Thank
Oh.
you. I didn't see the little red dot.
Welcome back.
We have not really hit this guy very much, if I remember correct. We
Are
kind
we
of
referring to that guy?
sorry, the guy with the
Green
crystals.
scarf.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you have
I think
not
we
yet
maybe
scratched
only
him.
yeah. So if that's the case, I'm going to try and instead I'm going to take out a no, that might not work. I'll try the handgun. The pistol that Daithun has now for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a weird shot. It's going to probably not work, but he's going to try and sever the strap on the backpack to maybe like knock that down, like maybe make him take a minute before he can leave.
You want to do the thing where you kind of shoot the strap and the back falls down from his head.
Yes.
I'd say you can certainly try that. You're basically targeting a small object in his hand, which means it's going to be harder to hit it. So you're going to have disadvantage on this roll.
Okay. All right. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's not terrible. That is. That's a 10.
You fire the gun. All of you hear the poof, the sound that you're usually used to from Delphine, who's currently not with you in the wagon, but it's Daithun firing his very own pistol. The bullet flying by Rayn past your finned ears and going by the guy that you're shooting at, just out through the just smashed in window, and the bullet's gone. He still has his hands on the bag.
Well,
Anything else you would like to do?
I think just frustrated with that. I have a second attack. Can I try throwing a hand axe at him?
You have a second attack,
Just
so
at
yeah,
him,
throw it.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
not going for the bag anymore. I'm sure it's still. I mean, I don't have a clear line of sight, but I can see him, right?
Yes, but I
assume he has
would
some kind of
say. Whoops, that's not what I wanted.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's.
Yeah,
fun.
throw a hand axe at him.
Do I
Make that-
still disadvantage?
No. You're just throwing it at him, right? Not at the bag.
Yeah, just at him.
No disadvantage.
Okay. 17.
17. That sounds like a good number.
Does.
And it is a number, and that does hit.
Okay. Where did it go? There it is. That's 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage.
Mhm.
That is noted as the axe. While the guy is still looking at where you fired with your pistol, and then as he looks again towards you, the axe is already like dunk, flies against the side of his head. He's like, ah. Anything else on your turn?
No, I'm good. I just realized I could have done something else, but it's too late. Oh well.
There might be a next round. Who knows? That was your turn.
Maybe.
Then. Rayn, you're up with Delphine on deck.
It's me? Okay. Remind me from the last time. Green scarfed guy was the one above Rayn, correct? Or
Green
was
Scarf
it-
guy is the one to the south of Rayn. There is like
one.
south. There's like you see the token with the hooded guy, and
Mhm.
under that guy there is a token with a. Well, yes, exactly.
And
The one
they're
with the-
also by the open smashed window.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to fly up. See if attack opportunity that I don't doesn't matter too much. I want to go kind of here on top of this box. Does the guy on top
Yeah.
take a swing?
Yes. They're gonna take a swing at you as you try to hop up on a box. Swinging out with an actual flail at you.
Actually, I'll just go over here. so
Does
it's-
a total of 21 hit.
Let me check one thing real quick with math, but I think it's not
Mhm.
going to matter. How much does this give? No, even with that, it's going to hit. So it hits.
And as it hits, it deals 11 points of bludgeoning damage. I rolled
Bastard.
the maximum on the die.
Bastard, I say.
But you do take those 11 damage, but you're up on the box. What would you like
in
to
the
do while
box.
you're up on the box?
And I also want to be kind of 10 feet up because you said that was the maximum height of the ceiling here.
Yes.
And with that
correct.
height, I am going to throw an ice knife at green scarfed at the broken window at level 1. Let me mark off the
Mhm.
spell slot and make a melee ranged spell attack, but I'm no longer in anyone's. Actually,
Exactly, because
if I
you're-
move up, does the goo in the middle get an opportunity attack too?
He actually would.
I'm
Yeah.
being transparent here.
Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate fair play. But I'm so sorry that it bites you in the back now, because that's a
But-
natural 20 on the attack roll.
Silver barbs.
Oh,
Ooh, silvery barb. So there goes
As
another.
he-
yes.
They
Let's
swing at
go.
the air, and I'm like, no. And I give
Ooh.
myself advantage.
Oh, that silvery barbs. The second die roll is a 9 for a total of
No.
13.
It still hits, but it's not a critical.
That makes all the difference. But it's again max on the damage die, so that's 11 points of damage again from another flail that hits. But you did give yourself advantage from that silvery barbs, rejecting that critical, and you're gonna throw an ice knife at someone. At Green Scarf.
Well, now I'm gonna do it at second level because fuck that. Let me correctly mark off what I wanted to.
Second level.
And that is going to be a d20 plus 6. I gave myself advantage. I'm going to take that now. Plus 18. 18 hit? Green
18
scarf?
hits. That
Okay.
does hit.
This is going to be at level 2. 1d10. 2d10 piercing because I upcast it.
Hmm.
D10. D10, D10. 16
16 points
piercing
of
damage.
Yeah, that certainly is. At the ice knife goes shattering.
And I would like both green scarf and this one to make dexterity saving throws, please.
Coming right up. Let's start with the green scarf. Dex saving throw is a total of 14,
Makes it.
and the other guy has a total of 19.
Both make it. Hit or miss, the shard explodes. Must succeed or take. It says nothing about half the damage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it explodes and they duck. But green scarf guy, I hope, took a hefty hit.
It was a heavy hit, you hear the ringing and shattering of the ice shards. If Green Scarf Guy still holding onto that satchel with the authorization crystals, has shards of them all over his clothing at this point, and you're on top of a box. Anything else on your turn?
I will take a free action to hydrate. Thank you for spending hydrate, and that's my turn.
Thanks for the hydrate. That ends Rayn's turn, bringing us a little bit further north in the train to Delphine with Rebus on deck. Delphine, what would you like to do in your lonely, lonely position?
Very lonely. So I heard no screaming from below. All that indicated like, oh yeah, my group mates are in trouble. So I guess everything is fine.
You obviously hear sounds from down there. You heard the rattling static of electricity. You hear the shattering of ice. You heard a gun being fired. With the accompanied screams, but you wouldn't have heard any of your companions yelling for help or anything.
Yeah, so I guess everything is fine. So I will just walk over to that small little bar and look if that guy is still there, the barkeeper.
Yep. Yeah, the barkeeper is still there hiding behind the bar, and you just saunter over to it. Also, Amaldi, the dwarf contact of yours, is also at the bar, still like cowered and overtaken by what's happened, and you're now there as well.
Yeah, I'm just reaching over, taking a bottle of one of the spirits that are there, taking a glass and just pouring me a drink, like as if nothing has happened.
Gotcha. That's your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Right. At the end of your turn, you would also notice that Amaldi, the dwarf, is like slowly noticing that the fighting has moved on, and Delphine, since you're the closest, you would see him look up, pull himself up at the bar, and he looks out the window. He pulls out of his jacket, pulls out a little timepiece. He looks like, oh fuck, and he looks at you quickly and says, we have to jump sooner than I thought. And that is something you now only know, Delphine, because the rest of your friends is further down south in the wagon. And actually, that does bring us to Rebus' turn, who is down there in the cooking wagon. There's probably a correct term for that on a train. But Rebus, what are you going to do correctly this turn?
Right, so from the restaurant car, I'll who has where's the guy who has the satchel?
There, down south, like about 10 feet away from you.
Right. Yeah, wait, 10 feet exactly? No, a bit further, right?
The one I'm clicking that says Ida.
So yeah, he's 15 feet, like he's not within your reach of your melee weapons.
Well, now he is. So he's going to go over there and attack with the glaive, with the vicious roar, metallic roar.
Bring it.
Yeah, let's do that. I need to figure out how to roar in metallic. That'd be fun. Ooh, that's a 25 to hit.
Nice, that certainly hits. But that was not a natural 20, right?
No, it was an 18.
Gotcha. But 25 certainly hits.
Fine. Yes, let's roll damage. Here we go. Ah! Almost lost the die. That's okay. 8 points of slashing damage.
8 points of slashing damage. That does carve into some of his clothing as he takes the hit from your glaive.
And I will do that again, because why not? I'm not really in trouble here, so it's not so good. That's a 17 to hit.
Still hits. That is still enough to hit.
Ooh, 12 points of damage.
This guy is
Yeah.
having a terrible round as you dish out another 12 points of damage, and he is looking rough. Anything else on your turn?
I don't think so. I don't think we need. No, I'm fine. I'm good.
Gotcha.
Oh, this guy's gonna get away.
That leads us to one of the operatives, the one here next to.
Actually, I might want to move within his ranging pace. He's thinking about leaving, so
All right.
I'll do that.
Yep. And since that one guy already used his reaction this round to take an opportunity attack, there is no opportunity attack that can threaten you. But it leads us to this guy here next to Daithun, who had been handed one of the authorization crystals last session. And he is actually looks at the Leonin, and he is going to actually step away from you. Would you like to take your opportunity attack?
I would.
Make it a good one. You have cat
Let's
advantage.
You do have cat advantage.
Thanks to DMIT Gamer.
Exactly.
Right.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Good, because one of those was a 1. But
Hey.
instead, I'm attacking with my longsword. 17.
Yeah, that hits.
Perfect. So that's a 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage as he
6 whole points.
6 whole points of damage as he steps away, takes the hit, but lumbers backwards and also uses his action to smash the window behind him. And more wind is now gushing in because the train is still moving. The lightning wheel is still moving. So you also have like this wind now rolling through the wagon here as there's a bit of a mischievous smile on his face as he's starting to lean out of the window. That ends his turn. This guy down here is going to... He would very much like to have a window to break, but... wait!
There isn't one
Rayn
broken
is
already.
10 feet up in the air.
On a box. Isn't the box blocking the window?
The window is right behind you here. Oh wait, there's a box beneath you, of course.
I'm on this box.
He's gonna
Aha,
crawl
outplayed
on
by the
top of
map.
that. He's going to crawl on top of that box. Like, so he's like kind of, here's the box. He's crawling on top of that, and you're now just like a few feet away from him, Rayn. As it's
For
like,
flavor, I am kicking my feet.
kicking those feet on him as he gets up in the box. You just hear like, oh, stop, thank you. And he also punches in one of the windows as he's trying to make way to apparently also trying to make his way out, while all of you, as far as you know, you did not see this one get an authorization crystal from the bag.
Mhm.
So you did at least not see him get one. That ends his turn. And that brings us to Greenscarf, who is seeing his
Can see
companions
windows on this
moving
train.
about. And he just quickly says, "This was a great ride. Made it a lot more exciting than I had planned to. But I just can't have company where we're going." And he is going to cast
Don't you dare.
on... Yeah. he is going to cast on Rebus inflict wounds on you. And he's going to make a melee spell attack against you.
Hold on, let me check my spells as a fighter. Do I have counterspell?
Is your counterspell not just hitting really, really hard?
Yeah, I gotta be within range.
I rolled another natural 20
Uh-oh.
Are you serious?
On inflict wounds?
on inflict wounds, which usually does 3d10.
Wait, does that work?
But
Oh no.
Are you serious?
as it crits, it's 6d10 of
I
damage.
spent my reaction this round already. We're still in the same round.
We're still in the same
Excuse
round.
Wait! I haven't spent my reaction.
Do you?
It's not gonna work. It's a natural 20.
What reactions do you have against something like that?
I can swipe the mechanical tail that I have and roll a d8 and apply that on top of my armor class.
But the
to
natural 20
see,
would always hit anyway. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
all right.
This is fine. This is
I
okay.
actually don't have enough d10s lying around, so I'm going to roll the first 3 d10.
Oh, what a
That's
shame.
already.
Ooh.
That's 24 points of necrotic damage
Ow!
to you as he just puts his hand on you, taps you on the shoulder as like a goodbye tap, and you just see your plates corroding and dark jagged lines going through your magical metallic body as
How many points? 25?
24 points of necrotic damage.
Alright. We're okay. We're fine.
And he uses his free object interaction to put the bag with the authorization crystals around his belt, so it's secured there, and is going to end his turn, which brings us back to the top of the next round to Daithun, who had full clear view of what was happening there. What would you like to do, Strong Leonin?
Well, there's not a whole lot I can do except just pull out, like, kind of run forward, sheathing the longsword and pulling out the great axe over his shoulder. I'm just gonna take a round of attacks at Green Scarf guy because I'm a fighter and that's what I do.
I am a fighter. I make attack
Actually,
rolls
Marcus,
and I deal
I
damage. Yep.
I forgot again to add the +2 damage because I'm raging. So add 4 points extra of damage to that guy
Gotcha.
because fuck him.
I agree. All right. That was almost a 20, and then it rolled a little bit more. Where's my attack bonus? How do I forget this every time? Doesn't change. 17 to hit.
Still hits. 17.
Still hits.
Still hits. And he's looking rough.
It'd be great if I stopped rolling 2s for damage on anything I did. That's a 4.
A 4, but
Could you stop that? That's really
you-
bad. Like, could you just not?
Okay, yeah, thank you. Hey, Charlie, give me advantage. Roll better. Okay. So, second attack, because I'm assuming he's still standing after that.
he is.
Okay. Okay, so I stopped rolling 2s on damage. That's a 7.
Is it a 1? Okay.
2. It's a 2.
Unfortunately, your second swing comes in, and there's like this strong blow of wind coming through the broken window that puts you off balance, and your axe just goes wide with the blow. Anything else on your turn?
I think I've done everything else except for a second wind, but nobody's hit me yet, so I don't even need to use that.
Poor you.
Oh wait, I forgot. Can I go back in time just a little bit and add distracting strike to the one that hit? I forgot I have one more superiority dice. I thought I used them all.
We just moved on to the next attack, so
That's all right.
Can we go back in time?
Fair enough.
rewind
Well,
a little
in that case, I think that's it. That's all I got.
all right. That does bring us to Rayn atop of the box, kicking her feet.
So green scarf looks worse than the goon directly below me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to send a level 1 chromatic orb to green scarf. You know what? We're gonna throw lightning damage at him. So I just kind of press my body to the roof of the car. I feel myself getting very flat. Kind of glare and put my hands to my diamond tiara, and a little mote of lightning pops out. And whether or not it hits, please, I would like it very much to. 12 plus 6 is 18.
That hits.
And I need 3d8.
3d8.
Double 1. Yeah, just double 1. 8 plus 3 is 11. Plus another 3 is 14 lightning damage.
Another dose of lightning in this wagon, as there's now actually like steam coming off of Green Scarf Guy, and there's not much left of his green scarf because a lot of that is burned up at this point from the elemental forces that have been thrown at him. But he's still holding on
Punk.
and leaning very close to that window.
Bonus action. Top of my lungs. Delphine, I need a drink.
That was your bonus action screaming?
Yeah. Very
Anything else
loudly.
on your turn?
There is clear not panic, but there is like a very heightened sense of urgency in her voice.
And that heightened sense of urgency rings through our wagons further back up north to Delphine, who does enjoy the good life with a drink. But remember, Delphine, Amaldi is also now standing next to you saying like, fuck, we need to jump. We need to get out sooner. And you hear now Rayn calling out like, Delphine!
Why do you all make my life so complicated? Oh, God. Okay, I could actually do that. Oh, God. Okay, you're standing there saying to our tour guide, like, yeah, okay, get ready to jump, I handle the rest down there. And then I'm casting, as a bonus action, Expeditious Retreat. That should give me, like, what the... yeah, I'm gonna dash down there and with, like, the wool... Sort of token, there we go. And I can move, actually, down... like here, I guess, with 60 feet. And
Yep.
I guess I can see now at least that guy and that guy, like the back guys.
You can, from your position, you can see the back guys, the one that are around Daithun.
Yeah, exactly. So that means both don't look good, I guess.
The one to the right of Daithun looks really, really bad. There's still like steam and static electricity skittering over him. The other one to the left of him is just apparently trying to get out of a window, crawling over a box, and Rayn is hovering over him.
Okay, first that guy with the formerly having a green scarf. I'm gonna give him a good shot with the pistol.
Fire away.
Let's see. This wasn't that good actually. Does a 14 hit?
Unfortunately, that bullet goes wide.
Ah, fuck it.
Look at this cute little kitty cat on Austin's lap.
Okay, I'm taking the cat advantage. To
Yeah, do
I have
it.
the cat
Go
advantage.
for it.
No, you,
No?
no.
Oh no,
I'm sorry.
I misread. Sorry.
No
No,
problem. You can still.
Can someone give me a cat advantage? Oh, okay.
You still
no,
fire
I
away.
guess not. Okay, then second shot. This is actually much better. 18.
18.
Yeah, there I got it. It's just
But
too late.
You not
Thank you,
only do
Winora.
you hit, you also get cat advantage. Who knows when that will come in? So thank you for that,
Yeah,
Winora.
not this round. But I guess that I see the satchel in the hand of the green scarf guy. So yeah, okay, then we're going with that weapon anyway.
You hit with the 18, so you can roll for damage as your bullet goes.
Yeah, okay. 2 shots. Bullets getting expensive. These are 7 points of damage. It's not good at all.
Your bullet goes like through one of his shoulders and goes through the cloth, through the tissue, through the muscle, goes out the other side, and you actually see him like shifting his weight in the pain, like as he's really holding on to the edge here.
Ah.
That I'm going to the like saying to the others. We need to make our exit quite fast.
We're
Oh,
a
that's my
little
turn.
busy.
That's a turn.
I have nothing else. Attack,
You did.
movement, bonus action, done.
You did a lot this turn. So that ends your turn. As you hear at the end of your turn, you hear that Amaldi is trying to keep up with you, but with your expeditious retreat speed, you just hear behind you, still like 30 feet away from you, the dwarf running, trying to catch up with you. And that does bring us to Rebus. Rebus, you see the markings from the critical hit inflict wounds on your armor. There have been more attacks at the green scarf guy right in front of you. It won't take much more to deal with this one.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, oh, let's see who else, like, what is the priority, like, who has the crystals, but like,
What do you think you're doing? And I will attack with the glaive once more, just like swinging it above my head and just like go for an attack. Hope I hit.
Let's go
See.
Warforged.
That's really bad. That's 16 to hit. Not my best roll.
16 is the armor class. So you do hit.
Let's go. $12 points of damage.
How would you like to do this?
Yes! Rebus just like I stand up a bit in this kind of bestial form and just raise my glaive after saying that to the guy, holding it mostly with the good arm and the other one kind of hanging there a bit useless, and just like swing the glaive around and essentially cut his head off. Because I'm angry.
The head comes clean off and actually falls out of the broken window next to him, pulled away by the wind of the movement. The body clatters to the ground, and this opponent is no more. There are still behind you, Rebus, there is still one enemy who is close to a window, and climbing on top of a box not far from you is another. You still have movement, and I think you still have one attack left that you could use.
Yes, I do.
We
I
do
am
know in
within
character that the
10
one on top
feet.
got a crystal.
Yes, you saw actually the one on top, so the one to the north
Yes.
of Rebus actually got one of the authorization crystals.
But we have
Yeah.
6 in total, so
I'm
we,
going to
we are
attack,
fine.
I'm going to attack that guy merely because, I just turn around and snarl at him and actually, just for fun, try to pierce him with my tail. So I don't even turn around. My tail just goes like through him and the hit. These rolls. That's a 15.
That does not hit, unfortunately.
It was a really bad roll. It's fine.
Your tail reaches out. You don't make any contact there, but you still took out some prey here in this turn. And is there anything else you would like to do on your turn?
I will move towards him just to, in case he's thinking about leaving.
Okay.
Where do you think you're going?
All right. That ends your turn and actually brings us to his turn as he is looking at the Warforged in front of him, broken window next to him, and he is actually going to climb through a broken window, which would mean basically hops out of the train. You can get your opportunity attack if you want to.
Yes.
I would very much like to.
Come on, dice. Come on, dice.
Here comes dice. 18.
That does hit.
Yes. Leave time. Oh, come on! Roll the 1 of damage. What is this?
Oh, hopefully enough.
7.
Did you
Aw,
add your
man.
+2? Did you
7
add your
points.
+2 rage damage to that?
Yes. So 7 points of damage total.
As you just give him one final goodbye hit, shing, as he just jumps out of the train and goes out. While that ends his turn, as he's now at the mercy of gravity. And the other guy down here is actually also getting out of his window. And that would, if you want to, Rayn, you could get an opportunity attack at him.
I will do so. I had this kind of frosty glass staff, and I'm going to swing it down at him, which counts as a quarterstaff, and I'm proficient in this. So please, let's see how this goes.
Don't give him any quarter staff.
How do I? Oh, there's a 12 hit. Oof.
As he goes out, and you can hear him say as he goes out, "Shit, I don't have a crystal!"
Would I get attack of opportunity as well?
Actually, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll see if I could roll better than a 2. 10 is better than a 2, I guess, but that's still only 15.
15 does not hit, unfortunately, as he goes wide, but you still hear him scream as he flies out of the train. And with those combatants gone, and one of them dead, we do drop out of initiative with all of you in the wagon. There's a headless corpse of the green scarfed guy on the ground with the satchel on his belt. Delphine has been rushing down here, and you can hear the approaching footsteps of Amaldi, who is already going like, wait, as he runs down, trying to peek past. He peeks past Delphine, and he sees the charred and electrified bodies of the other enemies that you fought here. The mayhem that has been caused. He's like, oh, I'm gonna be sick.
Grab the bag and just toss it back to him. And then start looting whatever the rest of Green Scarf guy had.
Yeah, I'll help out with that.
You toss the bag over, and in that, he just catches it, and you just see him. He's trying to pull that. He's hold down whatever he's about to hurl, and he's
not in the bag. I will murder you if you vomit in that bag.
And he
There's
just
a window
leans into
right
one.
there.
He just leans into one room next doors and does whatever he needs to do. You also want to check the body, whatever is on there.
Yeah, why not?
Rayn will help him with that.
Cool. If both of you quickly check the body, you do notice that what you do find out there are actually 2 rings on the body. One of them is a fairly simple silver ring with a symbol carved into the inside of the ring, which is just this symbol of a green clawed hand. And the other ring is actually a very intricately made series of bands woven into each other, and there's a small ruby set into the ring. Also, further in his possessions, you find that he was wearing some clothing, some little bit of chainmail under that armor and stuff like that. He has a bag with 25 gold pieces on him. And there is also a scroll or a container with a scroll in his belongings. Rayn, if you're also checking the body and you would quickly check the scroll, you would be able as a sorcerer to know that this is a spell scroll of haste that is in his possession.
Just a reminder, after the last time we had the game, you said you will send me a list with the looting the Delphine did.
Because you were also looting the bodies for...
the guy right in the bag that is dead.
Right. On that guy, there's mostly coin on that one. So you would have 12 silver pieces and 22 gold pieces would be on there.
Okay.
Dyson would hear in his mind, because I'm still telepathically connected to him. I can check these rings out later. It looks fun. Oh, by the way, I broke up with Delphine. I hope she's okay.
You just hear a response. How do you... Never mind. Sure, you can have all of that. Actually, none of it's really interesting right now.
I take all of it, including the gold. But I will to identify and.
I mean, I saw the ring on the other guy's hand when he dropped down. So I will tell the group, like, if there's a ring like this, they shouldn't put it on.
It's in my bag either way.
Yeah.
The simple ring, like the simple silver ring with the claw symbol on the inside, looks identical to the one that you saw, Delphine. So yeah, it's good if you point out to the party to not put that on.
Don't put it on, that will kill you.
Fun.
Except
I'll put it
you're
in my
into
bag.
that.
All right.
I'm tired now. Can we eat?
No.
As you say that, Amaldi comes running in like recovering from his hurling. I miscalculated. I thought we were just like a few hours out from the jumping point, but we're getting really close. No time for drinks, no time for food. Like, oh my god, there's a lot of bodies here.
I'm a mess.
Oh, see, this is why I'm not in this adventuring business. Too much blood and death in it. Like, oh great, you already broke the windows open. We can jump out through those. Come quick, each take one of the crystals.
Dyson's just like, I knew something was going to go wrong, but I kind of assumed you were the only thing that was going to go wrong. Now we have all these other people, but you know what? It's fine. Most of them are dead.
But that other one jumped earlier. Are they going to make it?
One way to find out.
Rayn will go to the stop flying and land. Now?
Amaldi
Yeah,
hands every one of you, each one of you, an authorization crystal. Gets over to Rebus and sees Rebus. Are you still like in your raging form?
Oops.
So I was kind of shouting out of the window to the guy that got away, and almost like lunging out of it, but you know, retaining enough of a consciousness not to do it. And just it's not really heavy breathing because I do not breathe per se, but you can hear just the steam coming out and the necrotic arm kind of rustling and the blades trying to shift but not really. So I am still in my raging form. You can tell I'm trying to go back, but the light within my visor is still red and I'm still just very out of it, really. Holding my glaive, looking out the window and just not paying attention to anything that's going on around me right now, like at all.
And as you're still there in the window, close to the window, you hear next to you, maybe slightly distorted due to your rage state, you hear Amaldi's voice. Rebus?
What?
And you see the dwarf standing there, holding one of these strange crystals out to you. You'll need one of those. Are you all right?
I catch it with my tail, with the prehensile tip of it, and just kind of with my still good arm kind of gesture to him to step back, which is kind of a strange sight to see because it's like this one arm has enough self-control to like not just hit him and just to gesture to get at a safe distance, but the rest of my body is like hot steam coming out everywhere and just it's kind of shaking and yeah, something's not right.
Exactly. And you see Amaldi backing off from you, seeing all of that as you have the authorization crystal. And all of you now have one of these very symmetrical designed shards that are in your hands. And Amaldi says, oh, all right. So when I finish counting to 3, you all need to jump. And you're going to fall for a while. Whatever you do, don't slow your fall. All right?
So
So-
on 3, or
After
1, 2,
three.
3, go.
On 3, you're going to
Right.
jump. Right. You're going
So,
to have
1,
fall
2,
for
3 jump or 3 jump?
Let me finish you. On 3, you're going to jump, and you're going to fall downwards for quite some time. At a
Right.
point, you're gonna stop falling downwards and start falling upwards. I know it sounds stupid, but it's gonna happen. Don't slow down your fall. Once you arrive, you will be in Daanvi, and you can look for the Quintessence engine. If you have it, use the authorization crystals again. It will help you start falling upwards, and you will get out of Daanvi. Any questions? We only have time for half a question. Any questions?
Well, you see, I'm kind of
1.
curious how. Okay.
2, 3.
Jump.
All of you jump out, and in the heat of the battle, you didn't notice what landscapes the train and everything was passing over, where you were heading. But as you jump, you realize that you jumped off right at the point that the train was starting to cross a bridge over a wide and deep gulch, and you start falling down. For many adventurers, falling downwards is quite of like a not regular experience, but not for the lot of you. You are familiar of the feeling of loss of gravity, the way that your stomach might twist a little bit in your body, and the wind rushing by your faces. So since you're so accustomed to this experience, you have more time to take in the details around you. And as you fall, accelerating in the fall, all of you notice that as you look downwards, you're falling towards a river. And where all of this nature here, this rocky, dry gulch, looks natural, the rocks are not symmetrical, it looks like it's shaped by erosion. As you look down, the river looks extremely straight. Like, not even a man-made canal would be this straight and this symmetrical. Even more, as you look downwards while you're falling, to the left and the right of the river, there are orchards of what, from this distance, you think are like maybe like fruit trees or some other kind of trees. And the trees are all perfectly aligned in 8x8 squares. 8 trees wide, 8 trees long. And they are divided by a horizontal line and a vertical line into subsectors. There are patterns here as you're falling down. You look further outwards from the orchard, there is perfectly symmetrical hedges all around it. Everything is geometric here as you fall further and further. And now this river is very close. All of you can already sense like the cool surface of the water. And at the moment where you think you will breach the surface, all of you can feel something happening to your authorization crystal. There is
right, we were supposed to grab the...
there's a...
You guys in water.
there is a sound coming from them as things seem to be moving on the inside. And all of you hear in your head, authorization protocol initiated. Transferring in 3, 2, 1. Instead of hitting the water,
Aw, man.
something else happens. And up.
Whoa.
You do not hit the surface. But at the moment where you should get into the water, there's a brief moment where you believe, or it feels like time stops, where your sense of orientation flips 180 degrees, and you no longer fall downwards, you fall upwards into a brightly illuminated, endless sky. Your pace of falling, no matter the direction, slows down. And while you adjust to the surroundings, you start picking out details. The endless white sky is not as empty and white as you first think. As your vision adjusts, you start to make out a single building made out of white stone. A perfect cube as wide as it is tall. And it is very tall while you're falling upwards past it. In the middle of the roof that you're now floating up to, there is a gigantic dome. At first, as you approach that dome with your falling upwards, you think it has it seems circular, but you actually notice that it is a 13-sided domed that has 13 sides that meet in the center of the roof. Each of these 13 sides has an arched doorway. As you arc through the air, you can see endless fields beyond the building on one side, perfectly tilled, with large ant-like creatures working the fields at even intervals. On the other side, a sprawling city lies as far as the eye can see, its symmetrically buildings lining perfectly straight streets. As you further fall upwards, eventually, your flight slows down, and at the apex of your arc, you find the flat roof of the white building rushing up to meet you, and you land on it. Rebus, I would like you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please. This has to do with the state of rage in which you entered this place.
I am. Would Rebus still be raging? Technically, I don't know if I.
I'd say for these purposes would be like at the end of their rage.
Alright. Well. Oh, come on. Constitution saving throw 16.
16. As you land, you notice that your rage is slowly fading away. You already noticed that some of your plates started shifting back into their regular states. But as you land here, you have this weird sensation as if some kind of external force is trying to help that process along, trying to like put things back into the right place, like some invisible hand that's trying to adjust it where it belongs.
Thank you.
So for the
I look at my necrotic arm, just assess the damage, see if I can still move it.
So for perspective, we landed upside down on a ceiling, so to say, but we're at the top of a building.
In a way, and you're now looking at this large dome of glass, which seems to have like these 13 entrances to it.
If I jump up and down, I remain on this floor, this ground.
Exactly. For your intents and purposes, your perspective is kind of shifted. While it felt for you like you're now on a ceiling, the gravity has shifted with you. You're like...
The camera went... whoop.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awkward. It's also... aligned. Bah.
Kind of hate it, actually. It's too perfect. Like, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It really...
Well, I can say find some kind of calm in the symmetry. I appreciate.
I see an entire lack of emotion rather than calm.
Makes my head hurt.
I'm going to
That's so curious.
do a little loogie.
Makes it predictable.
I'm going to do a little loogie. Poof. And with shape water, I'm going to have it aim to the nearest flat surface and have it freeze there. And also, it's pink.
You do your loogie as you expel that from you towards the nearby surface, change the color to pink, and the moment it is on that surface, you see materializing in front of you, the party sees appearing in like kind of like a blocky teleportation effect, a small machine entity appears. It is a completely made out of what looks like bronze and brass orb figure standing on thin legs with thin arms and these little mechanical wings. And its entirety of its body is made up of just this large eye, and has appeared with a mop and a bucket in its hands. And with a bit of a squeaky noise to its movement, it moves over to the surface that Rayn spit at and starts cleaning it.
I reach down and pick it up.
It's a friend.
Unknown visitor, please do not disturb the janitorial unit. Unknown visitor, please do not disturb the janitorial unit.
I grew up with like 6 brothers. If you think this will annoy me into stopping, it won't work.
Annoying is not the intended effect of this protocol. This janitorial unit is seeking to clean imperfection.
Here, let me hold you up to the stain.
You hold this entity up, and it continues its purpose of cleaning, and before you know it, the stain is gone. Please unhand me. Janitorial unit is required in other location to clean imperfection.
I feel so seen all of a sudden. Guess I'm not the only one who struggles with this group.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeet it into the sun, Dythan.
This janitorial unit is not yet purposed for deconstruction. Please do not, I quote, yeet this unit.
Just gently set it down and let go.
This janitorial unit would like to point out that your presences are not registered in my logs.
I think that is above the janitorial unit's pay
Prerogative.
grade.
This
That's a better word.
janitorial unit does not know your station within proper hierarchy. This janitorial unit doubts your expression. This janitorial
All right,
unit can
right
show
now.
you to the correct facilities.
I wonder if this janitorial
That
unit
would
is very
actually-
slow and we can outrun it.
I will inform you that this janitorial unit is not designed for speed.
Maybe the janitor unit can show us to what is the name of what we are searching for?
Delphine. Exnay on the Ishin May.
I mean, I already forgot what we had to get anyway, so. Janitorial unit, which way should we not go?
This janitorial unit has a hard time finding a proper answer for this vague question. Which way not to go depends on what you try to avoid or would not like to encounter.
What is the highest security area? Which direction is that?
The deconstruction and decommission side is known for its very high security out of obvious security purposes. Also, perfect order vaults of layers 3 through 6,411-9 are known and designated as high security vaults. This janitorial unit has no further time for idle talk. It is expected at other imperfection side. Enjoy your stay, unknown units. And it just dissolves in the same blocky teleportation and is gone.
Cute.
You know,
You think everyone around here is like this?
Oh, they are. But worse.
I
These
can
things
imagine-
cannot be. These things have no emotion. If it means barreling through a village to sacrifice in order to achieve order, it will do so. Rayn is speaking on the. You said Rayn had limited knowledge on the
Yes.
organisms within Daanvi, so especially think you mentioned Rayn knows about the inevitables. Either the player knows what we talked to. Does Rayn?
Give me an Arcana check.
Oops, it's a 9 total.
You talk to something that was awfully annoying to talk to.
So I know the gist of the general characteristics, but I don't know details on that.
Right, exactly.
That was totally a Modron, though, right? Ida's geeking out. Okay, thank you.
I can imagine any of those like larger or with a weapon instead of a mop would be annoying and like honestly like not even worth the fight.
Oh, with
Like-
multiple arms, even.
Yeah, like I could imagine like a really
If I may.
one. Yes.
Friends, we might want to, be somewhat stealthy here since our intentions are actually not that legal, and I presume reasoning with the organisms will not be very successful. So,
As far as I
I do
know,
not think
if we behave like we normally do, this might probably kill us here pretty easily. More easily than
agreed.
any other time.
All right, noted.
Could I have from all of you a perception check, please?
Perception is total 20. And remember, we're here to steal something. Stealing is bad here.
7.
So let's not draw too much attention to what it is you're wanting to steal.
6.
Well, that's my dice.
Precisely. Perhaps we should come up with a different objective. Perhaps we just want to do some research to
Sightseeing, like something that is like not doing any harm. Most likely.
Correct. But perhaps they have tourism in this realm. I'm not quite sure, but I assume that way we could get some of these units to show us around, and then we could perhaps stealth our way to where we have to go.
Most likely
I-
not a cleaning unit.
What a horrid
Daanvi, what did
holiday.
you get on the perception roll?
18.
18. So while all of you are having this conversation, Daithun and Rayn, you notice that about like there's quite a wide line of sight on this fairly open space here, which was just interrupted by a few pillars reaching up into the sky and then that glass dome ahead of you. And about like 50 feet away from you, you see someone else falling out of what seems to be the sky. And you see landing on his feet is one of those thugs that you fought on the train, on the
How
lightning
far away
rail.
is he?
About 50 feet.
Firebolt.
Everyone, no, duck.
You firebolt him, Daithun?
We could
my-
follow them. Maybe
Uh,
they know where the heck to go.
Well,
Rip.
Oh, what happened?
My plates are like
Daithun,
shivering
can you
again,
roll me
trying
an
to
attack
change.
roll for that firebolt?
I think it's just like instinct. Just like
Oh, he fall firebolt. What?
sorry. Okay, that dice is gone too.
Hey, we should not do
Karma.
we
Oh
should
my
not do the
God.
chaotic thing in here. Firebolt.
Look, I have like
We
one.
tried.
I have one mode. Okay. That's a 25 to hit.
Oh
Wow.
So, can you roll me damage on that? Because
It was pretty good condition.
That's 18.
What? Damage?
I get
Yeah.
10
Oh, it
on
scales
my
up.
firebolt.
it scales up. You're level 5. It scales up.
Well,
18.
I
I
think
rolled
he's
really
got.
well on that.
This is fine.
Oh, wait a second.
Is it
It's not a
okay? Is the
problem.
goon okay?
Probably not.
So,
Most certainly
the
not.
goon, who just landed and was still getting his bearings, is feels the heat of a fireball like flung into his face with full force. He lets out this ah, and as he screams, there's 3 of these little machines materializing next to him, and all three of them have these cute little swords and shields as they inspect what's happening. The guy stands there, sees that, and he just runs into the arch dome, into the glass dome away from you. And you hear those machines following him, like tuck, 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 on these little machine legs. All of them synchronous with each other, shouting in these mechanical voices. Please stand down, unexpected unit. Please stand down, unexpected unit. Please stand down, unexpected unit, as they chase him. But while that is happening, there's also 3 of those little gizmos appearing next to your party, and they all say like, unexpected units, please stand down. Unexpected units, please stand down.
Oh, they went that way.
We have registered a spike in fiery elemental energy. This spike is not meant to occur in this part of Daanvi. Please explain this unexpected spike of elemental energy.
Pointing towards Typhon.
You see that unexpected entity drop down, and then just like this fire just like happened, and then he took off running that way.
It is this unit's manner of order.
Rayn, make a persuasion check with advantage, because Daithun is supporting this with his bullshit story.
I didn't lie.
18 plus 6 is a 20-something.
24.
The 3 security units with their small swords and shields look at Daithun, and then in harmony, look at Rayn. Look back at Daithun. Peculiar statement. Warrants investigation. Please follow these units. And they all turn at the same time and slowly walk away from you, also towards the glass dome.
Might as well.
Sure, let's continue.
If you follow those 3 units, they keep on a steady pace as you walk over this field past perfectly cubical columns of white stone. And the closer you get to the arch dome, you see that there's more entities here as well. More of these little machines in various forms. You see smaller orb ones. You see some that are actually cubes. Some of them have more like these, one could say, the shape of a D10 to their body. But not just these mechanical units. You also see more of these. When you came landing here, you saw these ant-like creatures that work the fields, and some of them are coming in and out of the glass dome as well. They really have this ant-like physique, multiple arms, and they speak to each other in like this click-clacking language. And you actually see a group of them. One of them is standing there and gesturing with all of his arms and goes like, and then the rest goes as if they're laughing about it. And as you pass them by, and before you enter the glass dome, following your mechanical escort, you hear next to you suddenly this something heavy lands, and a hulking form of flesh and steel with gigantic gold wings lands next to you. It is a carved body with every muscle accentuated, a figure easily 4 meters tall. And as they get up from their heroic landing, they stand up towering over all of you, spread their wings, and you can actually see, like, behind their head, for briefly, as they spread the wings, a halo forms. And they just look down at you and smile a perfect white smile as they wander by you into the dome.
While we were walking, was goon also running in that direction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the goon was also running into the dome.
See, it would be better if they were all that, honestly. That I can handle more than the little metal things.
Celestial entities are not entitled to this role in low security function. Celestial entities are primary elite defense of Daanvi.
So, what you're saying is if we got in trouble, more of them would come?
If your trouble, which you exclaim, would scale up into a scale 5 crisis, Celestials might be called down upon you.
Do those Celestials have the authorization to go anywhere they please?
Based on their rank in perfect hierarchy, the Celestials, based on their achievements and purpose in the hierarchy, have access to almost every part of Daanvi.
Are there smaller ones, shorter ones?
The Celestials come in various shapes and forms.
Ah. Rayn says that she's looking at the Celestial up and down, taking some mental notes.
And as you do that, all of you cross the threshold through one of the 13 doors of the of this glass dome. And what awaits you there, we're gonna find out after a little break, as we catch our bearings, as we crossed planes and have met strange little machines and very handsome Celestials for now. Let's take a 10-minute breather to cool down from that, and we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Modrons!
And a lot of Modrons here. Somebody here loves Modrons.
I like Modrons.
They are
I can't
adorbs.
tell who.
That's so cute.
Ida, the player, likes Modrons.
All right,
Okay.
we'll take 10. We'll be back in 10 minutes, and then we continue today's session. Hang in there, and see you in 10. Here we are again. It is us, Horde of Tales, for the second half of today's session. And we will be doing the second half, unfortunately, without Austin. He will be back next week, of course, and we're going to take good care of Daithun. Also, before we go into the second half, thanks everyone who's hanging out in chat with us. We had a few doses of Catvantages handed out today. We had some nice comments on what's going on here. So thanks everyone for coming by and joining us in this adventure. This is really fun to have you here. And if you like what you see here, and if you want to keep track of us, you can always join our Discord. You can find the link to our Discord down below this video. Or you can also follow us on our Twitter account to always follow all updates of all the things that do go on in our Horde of Tales channel. Also, if you tuned into this and you want to catch up with what has happened so far in the game, or see all the VODs of other games that we run on this channel, lots of one-shots and events, you can always go to our YouTube channel, which is at youtube.com/ yes, that's a double slash even, youtube.com/ Horde of Tales. And if you're already there, why not subscribe to us, like one of the videos, or leave a comment under it. We're always happy to see those, and feeding the algorithm is always very nice.
Thank you.
With that being said,
Oh, point of order, if I may. There was a Catvantage, graciously given by Celestial Elixir. They're not in chat anymore, or on stream, I think, but they did not assign the Catvantage to a player.
how about we assign it to
Should we
someone?
roll?
I have a cat D4 here, and we are with 4 players left here.
I
One of
already
which
have
has
one,
Catvantage.
so I'm out of this.
Oh, right, exactly.
Oh.
So let's say I'm gonna roll this D4. If it's a 1, which is really bad, it goes to the GM. If it's a 2, it goes to Rebus. And if it's a 3, it goes to Rayn. And if it's a 4,
Reroll.
we reroll. So my little cat D4, the little cat
Alright.
caltrop. What does the caltrop say? It is a 2. Rebus gets a dose of cat advantage.
Advantage in flirting with an
Thank you.
Azima.
It's a very inspiring experience.
Listen, Rebus not so interested. Serial, very interested. Very much.
All right. So, the party has entered under the guidance of a squad of little robotic creatures into a glass dome, gigantic, with 13 entrances. And as you cross the threshold, you hear a rhythmic sound of ticking. Various ticking speeds at different speeds. And you quickly identify where the sound is coming from. Hanging in the center of this glass dome is what looks like an astronomical clock. Various plates and gears shifting about, and 13 arms of what looks like clock arms moving through this interwoven pattern of discs and lines and other mechanical gizmos. Each of these mechanical arms pointing at something move at different velocities and seem to be made of a different material. They also, some of them even have a bit of an ethereal, spectral look in them, as if they're not fully part of this plane. Moving through this complicated construct are also other free elements that seem just to fly through it, but all of them adhere, as you keep looking while you approach it, all of these moving elements seem to adhere to patterns. There's a little part that always flies in cubic patterns. Another one makes almost like these mandala shapes that you draw with that you can draw. All of it in multiple patterns, but all of it adhering to a certain structure. As you walk in here, in this dome, there are also neatly ordered lines for certain places where people are queuing up for things. And the Modrons guide you to one of those lines where they then turn to you. You will be waiting in this line for further identification of exact purpose and definition within the perfect order. As you will be waiting, and before they can finish the sentence, you hear a sound coming from this complicated astronomical clock figure in the center. And as you look up to look at it, you see that the goon that ran in here has climbed into that astronomical thing and is trying to reach onto something at the center of some of these clock arms that move. While he climbs all over it, he is being chased by, at this point, dozens of these little machines, which also now use their little wings to fly up, but they are supported by a larger version, a 8-sided machine construct, which actually has 6 arms and uses 2 of those to hold what looks like a crossbow, and 2 others hold large swords as they chase this goon who is climbing through the construct and is drawing the attention of everyone here. What would you like to do at this point? Would you like to queue up, or would you like to do something else?
I think we should probably... We have our permission with crystal things anyway, so...
I don't follow. This is very entertaining. I want to watch this.
You can certainly go watch. I just said I'd probably take our spot in a queue since we might have to,
I'm coming with you, Rebus. For the wool situation, you're definitely the wisest person here.
Yeah, but, and under our breath, that's probably what we need. We should learn more about it.
Maybe he falls down. That would be our luck.
And as you say that, Delphine, the goon has been coming into the center of this mechanical artwork almost, and grabs what looks like a cylinder, a steel cylinder with gold outlines and markings on it. He puts both of his hands on it, and as he does, you can see that there's a shock going through him, like a and he is just holding on to it, and then gives a yank at the thing, where you can hear a ripping and grinding sound. He holds it up, and as he holds it up, you see him like look at it. But then you hear the large 8-sided machine fired a bolt from the crossbow bolt, and that goes straight through the goon, through the object he was holding, and both he and the object fall to the ground. And immediately teleporting in are a bunch of janitorial units who pull out the massive steel bolt out of the body and out of this thing that he yanked from the machine. And they are two of these janitorial units drag the body away and mop up the blood it leaves behind. And yeah.
If Rebus and Delphine are still standing here, I want to walk behind Rebus and come out behind their back using disguise self as a celestial being. Okay, that is expended. And I fly up so I'm like kind of levitating like a meter up above, and I gracefully, holily start flying over with my arms open gently towards the fallen device.
You hover, float over there, and you see the reaction of the janitorial units as they see you approach is that they look up. Do you speak Celestial?
No!
You hear them speak in a language to you that you don't understand. As you gesture, they keep talking in the language you don't understand.
I will. As I leave, I just drop my eyes back, make a telepathic connection with, I don't know, Delphine. Like, find me an exit plan. Delphine hears it in her mind as I very serenely lower to look upon the item.
As you do that, this large 8-sided machine that fired the bolt at the man lands next to you and uses one of its arms to gently keep you away, and also says something in a language you don't understand.
Rayn will hear in her head like, I'm sorry, this is a situation that I can only make worse for you.
Oh.
I understand Celestial.
Can you understand Celestial? No, you can't understand Celestial. No.
I still haven't found.
Good try.
You still
good
have
try.
the one language to find. What is that language that you understand? Yep. And as you, Rayn, this 8-sided machine tries to like gently push you away from the device as two janitorial units pick it up together and start walking away with it.
I pull out my golden greatsword and I just kind of hold it sternly in front of me and I shake my head at them.
The janitorial units stop, look at you, and they keep talking in a language you don't understand. Rayn, at that point, you notice there is a telepathic connection coming into your mind.
Yeah.
Celestial individual, please identify. And you know that it's coming from the 8-sided machine.
I will think back.
Celestial unit, please identify. Celestial unit, you seem to...
Order, peace, harmony. Order, peace, harmony.
Celestial individual, you seem to be malfunctioning. Please report to repair stations.
I must repair
This is going
the
great.
engine. I must retrieve the engine. I must fix this, I think. I must
Celestial
restore order. I will restore order. Those who do not allow this are against order.
Does not compute and is incorrect input, celestial unit.
These beings oppose order. They are malfunctioning. They should report for repairs.
The 8-sided machine starts lifting its crossbow towards you. What is the rest of you doing at this point? You can see that Celestial Rayn has a large crossbow aimed at her, and there's a lot of heads turned towards her at that point.
Sorry, I can't help her in that situation.
If I may, excuse me, I just stepped forward. I am so sorry. The celestial being was helping us find our way, and I think, well, we found them malfunctioning and offered to accompany it back here, but we sadly do not know where the repair stations are. If you could point us towards them, we will very kindly escort them and be on our way.
Rebus, can you give me a deception check? And don't forget, you do have advantage if you want to use it.
Yeah, thank God, because deception is not my thing.
You could roll good.
I don't lie.
Cool.
I don't lie. That was terrible. And that was also terrible. 10.
The 8-sided machine turns towards you to say that, now slowly moving their crossbow into your direction, and they look at you and respond in common, since you've been talking in common with them. They respond, unknown unit, doubt validity of this tale. We can, however, inspect the celestial unit for imperfections in the same location to which we will bring Quintessence engine for repairs. We will take celestial unit with us to repair area. You can file for visitation at line 68XD.
I will speak up as celestial self and be like, unknown unit, companion, stay, repair. So I'm trying to communicate that I'll go for repairs with that thing, but I want them to come with me.
We still have the mental connection, don't we?
With Delphine, yeah.
Yeah. I am gonna tell you, like, so I have seen the quintessence, and I know you. I can detect like that thing, and if I know where that thing is, I know where you are.
This doesn't last very long, Delphine hears in her mind. If they touch me, they're gonna find out. Like, Rayn has been constantly doing this, like, this little wiggle away so there's no physical contact on any of the Modons.
Can't you just get invisible at some point?
At some point, eventually, yes.
Yeah, then do that. For fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake, think of something to help me out. Okay, I'm gonna go with them. I'm almost dead here. God damn it. I know you're angry at me for breaking up with you, but we have a mission.
We haven't even been together. What are you talking about?
The denial is a river in Eberron.
You brought yourself into this situation. Now, get yourself out of there.
Repair, order, repair. And I just hover near the engine and just kind of stand aside to it, like not engaging further with it. Repair, order.
You say that, and as you move over to the engine, two of the janitorial units who have picked it up, which you try to like intimidate a little bit with your pose and everything, they have it firmly in grips, and these two units teleport away with the engine, and then the 8-sided machine lumbers over to you and tries to put one of its arms on you. Are you trying to evade that?
Yeah, I'm constantly flying here.
You are constantly flying. Can you give me
Is he trying to grab
either
me?
an athletics or acrobatics check to see if you can nimbly fly away from that touch?
Athletics. Total
This
14.
is fine. We're doing great. It's going excellent.
That's perfect.
Does it succeed?
No, it fails.
Okay.
I rolled a 2. You can if you want to silvery barbs that, but it can't get much worse.
No, but I would know if it succeeds. That's sort of
Exactly. That's true. No, they don't grab you, and then you hear in your mind again, like, Celestial unit, I will just want to escort you via teleportation to repair station. If you prefer, you can also follow by foot or by flight.
Follow with orderly flight.
Understood. Please.
Praise order.
Praise order. Please follow. And
I
the
look back
8-sided
at Delphine
machine.
for a fresh connection. I'm like, this is not gonna last long. This is a bad idea. Get me out of here. And I float.
You're being
along.
escorted away, and the rest of you sees the shapeshifted angel Rayn walking away, and it first looks like she's just walking towards a wall together with this 8-sided machine. But as they approach the wall, slabs of stone slide aside and an opening forms, and she and her escort walk through it, and once they're through it, it closes again, and everyone here in the glass dome returns to their business. The little security drones that have accompanied you look up at the rest of the party and say, you can file for visitation rights to the repair stations. We can guide you to the correct queue for that.
Shouldn't we register beforehand before we are going to the repair station?
This is included in the line for the visitation rights. We work efficiently in Daanvi.
This is good to know.
Please follow us to the correct queue. And the 3 machines lead the 3 remaining party members past a lot of these queues, and you notice that all of these queues are like really in perfect lines behind the counters that they're waiting for. And at one point, you are being led down a spiraling staircase, like a very gentle spiraling staircase, and you do come into another area with more queues to wait in, and there seems to be almost the only hint you get that you crossed into a different area is that this area actually has ambient music coming through ethereal speakers. Soothing music that makes sure that whoever is waiting in line here is certainly relaxed by it.
Why aren't you relaxed?
I guess the elevator music.
Well,
From the moment that you come down the staircases, the queues that are down here basically fan out in kind of a half circle to a total of 16 queues waiting for you. The security drones lead the three of you to one of these lines, and you start queuing behind one of these ant creatures that you've seen here, who briefly looks over their shoulder and then looks ahead again in line. And the security drones just accompany you here as you wait.
did it just greet us? Looking to the drone.
Oh, to the drone. That was indeed a quick greeting in their language.
Great.
Do you two? I would like to figure out how the paperwork works, just to be the most efficient possible. So make sure we're in the right line, make sure we have everything we need by the time we reach the counter, and yeah, I don't think we'll be able to communicate with any of these creatures, but you know, my gears are going smoothly here. Like, if I can find the logic of like how everything is supposed to work, I'll get into the flow, no problem. Just
I would definitely say if there is a plane that Rebus would vibe with, it's probably this plane. Can you give me an investigation check with advantage on this? This place is patterns and structure and order.
22.
22.
Ooh.
As you look around the lines, you quickly work out the rhythm of things, which is actually supported by almost a rhythm in the sound that stamps being placed on documents make. That almost every line in rhythm makes like a gunk, 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 gunk. Perfect beat to it. And you
Someone please redeem the beatboxing now. I need it.
And you do figure out that you're not really sure if this is the quickest line to stand in. If what the drone said was that you would get like identification papers in one go with visitation rights, as you look around, you're pretty sure the identification queue is a different queue. And you gently nudge the party one queue to the side, and you already notice that queue is moving faster. You're coming faster ahead. There's a faster rhythm to the stamps being placed on it. And Daithun actually, as you gently pull him over, is like, what are you doing?
Oh, trust me on this one. I believe information is being processed faster on this queue for what we need. I believe the drone might have been wrong or just trying to stall us for a little longer.
All right, that's great for a creature of a plane of perfect order. They get the wrong information. That's great. Good job. Yeah, you know what this reminds me of? Remember the time that we were in that House Orion house where we had to get like the permit and tickets for their transportation, where we also had to wait in line?
Right.
Yeah, this is even worse.
Waiting in a line is always worse.
And who picked out this music?
I think it's just blends sounds into the background, not really distracting.
Would he firebolt the speaker?
He is looking for a speaker, but there is none.
Also, Rayn, you're not here. Excuse you.
That was Ida.
The malign steadily makes its progress forward, and after, you don't know how much time here goes by, you come to the front of the counter. It is your turn for the three of you, and from an elevated desk, there is a duo of these little machines, these little robot machines, sitting next to each other. One of them, little skinny arms crossed in front of them, leaning forward, actually has like a hat on. The other one, next to a pile of papers that, like a large paper pile that stacks up, and once it reaches a certain height, you just see the papers teleporting away to some kind of invisible archive, and they're just writing. The one with the hat on leans forward. Welcome to Daanvi. You have arrived at the identification purpose requisition line counter. I will be providing you with your identification papers. Please hand over your authorization crystals to begin identification procedure.
Oh, that's what they are for.
They are called authorization crystals. The name is pretty clear. Please hand over the authorization crystals.
Since when is sassy order?
Did they just call me dumb?
The bird. They do what the name says.
Does any one of you hand over their crystal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Delphine, let's say you're the first one that gets your crystal checked, and the drone with the hat on hands over the crystal to the other drone, and that drone like stops writing whatever they were writing, put the crystal between their two tiny mechanical hands, and as they do, the fingers of these drones, they split open, and little cables come out that reach into the crystal and seem to be moving things around inside of it. And the drone just sits there, and you hear like this sound going on in the drone, and then ka-ping! Authentication failure. Authorization crystal is associated with Pajek, Formian, age 47. This is not Pajek. This seems to be a half-elven descendant female. Please identify and explain.
Trying to look pretty confused. I mean, I have no clue what's going on anyway. So it's
You
like
got a stolen passport.
it's like, but this is my thing. I am carrying this around since a while, so this can't be someone else.
The two drones look at each other, look back at you.
Technically, I'm not saying a lie, so.
We will forward your claim to Identification Analysis Department. Expect a detailed response and reply to your identification papers within 7 to 10 days. Thank you for your time. Next, authorization crystal.
Wait.
please.
And how do I get my papers now if I need to wait for like a long time? I can't go anywhere, you know?
Correct. That is the consequence of incorrect
So
documentation.
shall I stay here now 7 to 10 days waiting?
Correct. We will provide food and sleeping places. You are not allowed to leave the building until you have identification papers.
you know, I have things that I need to go on. Like, you're working here, I have my own work. We know how this works.
We do know how this works. That is why we check the authorization crystal and realize it is not your crystal.
Okay, let's say I need a new crystal because seemingly this is not my crystal, even though it's my crystal. Where do I get a new one?
One of the drones points past you to another queue at the opposite side of the room. You can requisition a new identification authorization crystal at that line over there.
Do I need to give them anything?
You will go through the regular interview and documentation processes, which can take up to 2 and 3 days.
Delphine hears in her mind, because I think the limit is 5 minutes.
The limit is 5 minutes for the
So you
telepathy.
hear like a panicked Rayn, like,
Delphine, are you close to getting me yet? They passed me through like these hallways and the shapes.
I tried to find a millimeter where they were off, but there's not Delphine. I don't like it here. My darling, I'm sorry. We can talk through this, but get me out of here.
God.
I'm going to lose you soon.
Maybe I missed it, but why are the crystals wrong? Like,
They're stolen.
They're linked. They seem to be associated to a different person. So
It seems like we got
yeah,
stolen
but-
crystals,
right.
but no one told us, so we are basically now stuck here. So your crystal will be probably not telling the truth as well.
Well,
Wait, Are you
let
saying
me-
this to
let me-
Rayn?
Mm-mm.
Because Rayn doesn't
Yeah,
know
basically, I'm
anything.
saying it out loud, but thinking at the same time, so you might hear that as well. So
What?
I'll try with mine. Maybe one of us can get through, and while the other one of you goes to the line. The quicker we do this, the quicker we can go get Rayn.
we really need to.
Delphine,
Unless you want
it's
to
gonna-
try and run, but
I'm losing the connection. Just tell him you're with me. Expedite it. Cut to the line. Throw some clouds. Ah.
telepathy ends.
I whispering to Rebus. Rayn said we should say we were with her, like I think in her angelic version.
right. Excuse me. I go forward since Delphine seems to have finished the interaction. Right, here's my crystal. I am so sorry about the inconvenience. I don't know what might have happened to them to not match us properly. We are in a bit of a hurry. We have come here with a celestial in need of assistance. They are currently at the repair unit and they requested our presence. So these transactions could be done while we are taking care of them. We will make sure to come back and finish all the paperwork.
As you say that, you already handed over your authorization crystal, right? While you were saying this?
Yeah.
While you were saying this, explaining this to the drones, the other drone takes the authorization crystal and also starts going like, and then you expect the ding sound, but it stops, and then there goes another round of puts down the crystal. The two drones look at each other, speak in the language you don't understand, and then the drone runs again, the crystal. Ding!
Oh, a ding.
Welcome back to Vaktul. An interesting shape you have decided to take today. I hope your business has been successful.
Right, yes. Thank you. Now, regarding that request, it is top priority for us right now to go and check on our companion. Would that be possible at all?
According to the hierarchy, in the perfect hierarchy, I do not believe that an inevitable has to ask permission of a lowly drone.
Well, asking on behalf of my companions, of course, but if everything is good with you, I shall take them with me. Thank you.
Tuvok Tool, you are welcome. May the inevitable always be inevitable. For the hierarchy.
For the hierarchy.
And you have the authentication crystal back, and you actually, as the name of the
Can I
owner of
read
the
it?
crystal was said, you actually saw people from other lines turning towards you, and you heard some chattering in different languages, like one of these ant creatures in an excited, and you have drawn a bit of attention with that.
Lucky bastard.
That's fine.
Daanvi stands there and goes like, "Hey, maybe I should get mine checked as well. Maybe it's also of some."
Never mind.
No.
I grab them and go. We'll find a way to the unit.
The three drones that escorted you here, when Tuvok Tool is mentioned, all three of them drop to a knee next to you, and just let you pass by.
So Delphine surrendered her crystal. She is crystal-less.
The crystal, Delphine's crystal was held because it's not her crystal, so she is indeed crystal-less at this point.
So our tickets, she doesn't have a ticket out.
So that means I need to steal myself a ticket again.
Or Tuvok Tool can request it back.
Didn't we have more than one per person?
There were, you were each given one, because you were not given the bag with crystals. You were just each given one crystal. While you have just been elevated to some kind of celebrity here, Rebus, meanwhile, where we have Rayn, your telepathic connection dropped with your ex-girlfriend, and you were Karo's face. You were brought down a few long hallways, well illuminated hallways, and actually came outside of the glass dome again, out into this wide sky, were placed on a hovering platform, which slowly start descending, spiraling downwards, and eventually onto another perfectly cubical building, the top of it opening wide enough for the platform with you and the 8-sided figure to go through, and you're lowered into what you would describe the most ordered warehouse you have ever seen. Imagine, do you know the shelves in the IKEA where you go to pick up all the different parts for your IKEA furniture? These shelves go way up to the ceiling, like the ones in the IKEA, but are wider, perfectly symmetrical, nicely labeled, and there's like flying drones all around, buzzing around to keep everything neatly in shape. What you do notice, however, you see that the things that are on the shelf are not as perfect as this place itself. They are actually broken objects here. You see broken gears, broken armatures, tarnished plating. There's actually a section of wall that's put on one of the shelves that has some kind of graffiti on it that the drones apparently cannot remove from it. And all the kind of imperfections and broken things seem to be gathered in this warehouse. Your hovering platform lands here the moment your telepathic connection ended, and you are gently nudged forward by the 8-sided machine.
I try to keep ahead, like even if I have to like fly up like a foot or so, just to not be touched.
Like really not be touched, just making sure you're not getting touched. And you the machine guides you past all these shelves in the warehouse to the far end of it, where two sliding doors open up immaculately wide, and you're led from a warehouse into a workshop. There's these different workstations where you see all of these little drones working to repair other drones. They even build new ones. Blueprints cover the walls with instructions, like step-by-step guide how to build your Modron, basically. And you see some of these Modrons, you see as you come in, there's another Modron coming in who apparently lost an arm, quickly talks with another Modron, and they quickly get a new arm attached to them and walk out of the workshop again. You are led over to one end of it, to a area that is covered in crystals that let a very harmonious, gentle sound out as you approach them, not quite unlikely to the crystals from the Shining Valley. And you approach it, and the 8-sided machine tells you, Celestial Restoration Unit ready for use. Please enter for your restoration.
Cannot restore before observing the engine, before observing the whatchamacallit. What was it called? Damn it. Notes. Before observing Quintessence engine. This is disorder.
The machine looks at you. How is this reparation station disorder?
The correct order is to first observe Quintessence engine.
Quintessence engine is essential part in cosmic clockwork. It is
I
not
must
intended
observe
for use
its
by...
repair. Now.
Make a persuasion check.
Mother. Oh yes, that's 24. No, 25.
25 even.
Roll a natty 19.
The 8-sided machine looks at you. I need to gather more information for this request. I will report this to leader of this section of Daanvi. Please stand by here. And the 8-sided machine walks away.
Am I
You are
alone?
now in your corner with this little kind of crystal alcove here. And a lot of like in eyesight of you, you see like a bunch of Modrons. You hear a lot of bzzz as things are getting repaired.
I just got here, so we're like 10 minutes in, 20 minutes into my disguise self.
Oh, talking about that.
No.
Could you give me a perception check, please?
Okay. 13 total.
Cool. What were you saying?
I was just checking on the duration of my disguise self.
It's still like about 20 minutes in. You still have some time left on that.
And nowhere on this walk I clocked the engine part that we saw, the cylinder looking tube. Damn it. And I'm
But
surrounded.
considering what you saw in like the warehouse, if this is a place where like broken things go to, there's quite a high chance that it's somewhere in that warehouse.
As I was walking in this way, you said you were describing different various things. Did it seem like things were all of the same value or mix and match?
Oh, absolute different values. There was like the smallest large things that looked very mundane, things that looked very fancy. But what all of them had in common, there was at least even the most minor form of damage or imperfection on it.
and I'm not alone. Is there any place I can just float to, like behind something for cover?
You have a bit like these crystals are in their own alcove. So if you go further into this nest of crystals, basically, you would be floating into that alcove and would be out of sight for what you can see.
Because I want to activate my boots and go invisible.
You want to do that?
If Rayn feels she's a good chance of not getting caught, yes. If she feels like she'll get caught, she'll wait until something happens.
If you, as soon as you like fly further into that alcove, you at least don't see any kind of other entities looking at you.
Okay, I don't want to get repaired either. Rayn is perfect the way she is, so we'll use the feature to go invisible. I am still disguised underneath this because they don't cancel out. Disguise up is not concentration.
Right, exactly. That is a good point.
So with my boots on, I'm invisible, and I want to start flying back towards that warehouse.
Cool. Can you give me another perception check?
What's going on? Oh, there's another 19. I like you guys. You're going to stay.
Well, 19? Or
Total.
you turn invisible, and you want to fly out again, out of the alcove?
Yeah.
Cool. You fly out back into that hallway, and why do you hear footsteps behind you?
My instinct is to turn around, but increase my elevation.
Ceiling here is about, in this part, would be like 40 feet high, so you can still like go up. And as you turn around and increase your elevation, behind you is a creature that you have never seen before. And I have to make sure, yeah, this is the one I want to describe. You see, it looks as if someone took like a carved statue of David, like these Greek-style statues, but then broke parts open and put gears and chains into them at irregular sections. The face itself is carved into a neutral expression, and on the shoulders, where like the collarbone is, sticking out of the marble are just like these gold plates that form a color all around this figure. The eyes, one of the eyes is still marble, and the other is filled with gold that seems to be moving like water.
I'm dead.
It's dragging, coming from its palms, cracking through the marble, are these gold chains that dangle out of it. And as you hover up, this figure is about 3 meters tall, just cocks its head and seems to be looking at you.
I put on a very holy and calm, and I just kind of look around the area, and I nod at the hardworking Motron. And I
The arms move and
Motron,
grind,
and
a marble
nod.
hand is put on your cheek.
What?
You are no longer invisible, and you are no longer morphed into a different form.
Marcus?
My error
shape-
has placed me into a different form.
The marble on the neutral expression starts cracking. It literally starts cracking into a smile. You can see tears in the stone. And the figure looks at you. I will admit, I, Tuvok Tool, have never encountered such audacity. And that's where we're going to end today's session.
Marcus, no! Don't do this to me!
Oh, that was delightful jazzy
you?
music.
Excuse you!
Excuse you.
Yes, to me personally. To me personally. I have one question.
Yeah,
DM,
yeah.
are they single?
That would have been Rain's first question had this not been like a terrifying panic version for Ida the player.
I'm sorry. Who is this creature?
Oh, this is all going well, wouldn't you agree?
Wonderfully. Excellent. According
Like, I'm
to
actually
plan.
trying to get the item we need. I'm not just bullshitting around, I have to admit this one time.
That's true. That's true. Absolutely. Yep.
I'm sorry, Ida. By looking through all the spells that I have and the shit that I can do, I couldn't help you in that situation. And
Make a
my character can't
distraction.
fucking speak Celestian.
But you could make a distraction. I'm just worried you don't have a crystal.
That's my problem.
No, it's our problem. As
Hey,
a part, as
I'm
players,
pretty good
not
at
as
stealing.
characters.
Maybe
We'll figure it
Ch.5
out.
wants
We'll
to give
figure
you
it out.
another one. Who knows? Maybe they turn out to be super nice.
Yeah, but they're meeting Rain.
They seem fine. They seem okay. You know.
I'm not grappled
they-
yet.
No,
would-
no, just a hand on your cheek.
So, Eberron, he wants to date you, or you're ending up as his new pet?
Honestly, I'd be fine with either of those options.
Wow.
If it wasn't in the plane of order, you know,
I'm
Rain
sorry,
didn't consider this.
What for me?
Sorry, you're totally
Fine.
lost.
We're fine.
That was
Well-
a very
Liz-
invigorating and roller coaster of a session. I like that we definitely have a different approach to order and dicking around with it and engaging with it.
Yeah, and I'm really curious
I
where this
thought
is
this
going
was just
to.
going to be like gray and bureaucratic and annoying and just like sad and boring. And now there's beautiful celestial creatures that are made into like my, just wow. No words. I'm fine. I can
They should-
I can play.
They should
I
put,
can play
they should
D&D.
put
I'm
that
okay.
on the.
I'm
They
okay.
should put that on the tourist flyer for Daanvi. Well, I am curious how this will continue next week, but for today, we are going to end on this little cliffhanger. But before we go in line to ask for our long rest permission, is there any kind of things we have? And I do think we have a few announcements, but for that, I'm going to head over to the player whose character currently is in an interesting situation. Ida, what do we have going on here? What would you like to share with us?
Oh my goodness. I will. You know what? Let's announce what the heck we're more detail we're doing. Horde of Tales. I'll leave to one of you to give that good news, because on my plate is quite a few things. Oh dear. On the 8th of October, Saturday, that is 5:30 CSET. I'm going to be playing Hispanic Heritage Month round of Monster of the Week with TTRPG gifts and an all Latin cast. Really excited for that.
Ooh, nice.
Excellent.
And I will also be playing later on that next Monday, with Manipod Studios. I will be playing Starfinder, and I will be playing the equivalent of a 6-armed Ewok.
Cool.
If that doesn't get you to watch that, nothing will.
I will be wearing my Chewbacca onesie. Please come watch Cozy Ida.
Nice.
Cozy, kind, friendly, non-chaotic Ida. Very different energy.
What? There's a version of you like that? I
Yeah.
haven't met her yet.
I'm transporting one of my first D&D characters. Big pansy energy. Join us October 22nd. Roll for Good for Charity to support Mermaids Gender, which is a UK-based organization supporting trans youth and fighting for trans rights. Even at the highest levels, they're even sending like delegates to the EU, which is this UN, which has this process of like, you know, grading countries and their adherence to international norms and laws, which say respect human rights and trans rights are human rights. So they're on the front lines of doing that. October 22nd. Player signups are still looking for people to join. And if you have any donations you want to give out to help out with our giveaways, by all means, let us know too. That's also very handy. And last but not least, I'm sorry I'm taking long, October 31st, I will be playing with Dungeon Delves, another Monster of the Week one-shot. But this is going to be fully animated VTube avatar. It's going to be really exciting.
That sounds so amazing. I'm honestly so excited for that.
Dungeon is amazing. I love their art and the animation energy they put into everything.
Exactly.
That's me.
All right. Thank you for that. Caro, do we have anything coming up here on Horde of Tales next to our regular game?
Yeah, actually. So we work together with Amelia. I mean, you know her. She has been here on the Women in Gaming, participating quite a lot, and so she will run a game of the new Occults version that she and some of her friends produced. I think it's called Inner Eye, where you have like some people who are playing demons, some who are playing witches. And this is like a very interesting system and totally off from D&D, so something totally else. And yeah, we start running this. I think it's already next week, isn't it?
Exactly.
Next week, first day. So we are still in the end process of finalizing everything. So it's coming out steaming hot.
Right out of the oven.
So yeah, this will be a pretty cool thing. Also, we are currently planning like cool stuff for our 1-year anniversary of Convergence Manifesto.
Which is almost like it's almost a year since we started this
Yes.
campaign. That's insane. Time flies.
That's wild.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
It's been a good year, though, I will say.
Yes. So, and we restarted our coffee channel, so for a little bit more microblogging about the different kinds of things and where you can see, hey, what we have to offer at the moment and what our goals are. Like, hey, we want to try to get the crew somewhat of a payment since we don't have any funds for that regularly, so... I mean, we produce a lot of content. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, for the game that we're starting up next week, Thursday, then I dropped some links to both Amelia's Twitter and also directly to the site of Witch and Craft Games, which makes the game that where she makes the games for. So please join us there. Keep an eye on our tweeters for any more details for that. And
Super queer table, super BIMPOC table, European, international, bestest of dates.
And if you know that Amelia is going to run a game, you know it's going to be a great game. This is something I'm really looking forward to. Serial, anything from your end you would like to share?
Funnily enough, just a little comment for any people interested in art. You've heard me before talk about queer life drawing. It's a really cool community where there are virtual sessions where you can join and draw queer models, and it's really fun. It happens every week. I'm just bringing it up again because I am the next modeling this Sunday. But you know, just I often attend as an artist. It's really fun. You don't have to have any kind of skill level. It's just if you want to draw some really amazing people, join us. You can find all information at their Instagram page, Queer Life Drawing. all one word. Yeah, thought I'd mention that because it's like I got notified a couple days ago, and it's this week, and why not? You know.
Perfect. Yeah. And it's on Instagram. They're known as
I get life drawing. Yeah.
Queer Life Drawing. Gotcha.
Let me find them. 1 second. But yeah, I get paid the same regardless of how many people show up, so it's fine. But I do really enjoy what they do, and like even if you don't check it out this week, just check it out at some point because it is really worth it, and it is a really lovely community. So here is the page, the ticket page, and otherwise you can find them on Instagram.
Perfect.
Trying to be quick, but
No worries. Just drop the link in there. We can, if you're interested, definitely check out Queer Life Drawing. And yeah. Alrighty. Well, before we head out there, I also have like one little announcement. If you want to see me not run a game, but you want to see me play in a game, while Ida is going to be on Manapod Studios on Monday, I'm going to be on Manapod Studios on Saturday for the coming 3 Saturdays. We're going to play a little game of Vampire the Masquerade on Manapod Studios, and I'm together with an interesting bunch of players going to be portraying vampires in the modern nights in beautiful Nice in France. So if you want to see what we do up there, check us out Saturday evening starting at 8:30 Central European time at Manapod Studios. And you can find all of us next week back here at Horde of Tales. So as we are going to queue up for our permission to rest, we thank everyone who hung out with us today. Thank you very much for dropping by. And we will be back next week. Same time, same place. Hang in there. And see you then.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Save me. I'm in trouble.